I have this Google form that I'm using so that I can get information from people that I'm working with in various trainings. So consider this like a teacher would use this form as a survey to get to know her students. Okay, so you can see here that I've got information listed, just what is your first name, last name, email address. Those are all required because they have the star right there. And then I have a couple more that are required right there. Okay, so whenever my participants in trainings take this, they'll hit submit, and then all of that information will go into the Google Sheet. And that would look like this. All right, so the people that take this are going to have the time and date stamp right there, and then all of the data from that form would be going along right here. Now, I want my teachers that I'm working with to really feel like I am communicating with them and that I am taking in this information that they're telling me. It's not just for them to put on paper and for me to look at later. It's for me to interact with them. So what I've done is written up this little letter, and you can see that I've used these brackets and put some words in there, and I'm going to explain those as we go along. But what I've done is create a letter that I'm going to use as a mail merge with the data from that form. So here's how it works. In the form responses, so I'm in the Google Sheet, I'm going to go to add-ons. The add-on I'm going to use is called AutoCrat. Now, if you don't have AutoCrat installed, you are going to have to install it, and the way that you would do that is by going down to Get Add-ons, and you would search for AutoCrat whenever it comes up. So I've typed in AutoCrat, I'm going to hit return, and then here it is. If I did not already have it installed, you would see that it would have a blue box that says free instead of the one that says manage. And so what I would do is just click on free and it would install it. Okay, so I already have that, and here's the way it will work. I'm going to go to add-ons and I'm going to click on AutoCrat and I'm going to choose launch. Now you can see that it has opened up this other little window over here, and it says new merge job. So remember, I said that this is going to be a mail merge, so I'm going to click new merge job. And it's starting to give me the directions here. It's asking me what document I want to use as the merge template, okay? And remember, my letter that I wrote was called Getting to Know You, and it was created in Google Docs, so it is in my drive. These are ones that I've used before, so that's the reason why it's giving me these, because it's saying, you've used this in the past, do you want to use it again? Well, I want to choose a different one, so I'm going to click on Drive. And I can find my template by either going directly into the folder that it is in, or I can search for it up here. So I'm just going to type in Getting to Know You and click on search. And it pulled it up right here. So that was easier for me. I'm going to click on that and then choose select. And then I have to give this a name. So I'm just going to call it Getting to Know You. And click Set. Okay, so now here's what it's doing. It's recognizing that in my letter, and let me pull this back up, that I have brackets, double brackets, around where I want the data from my form to go into this letter. Okay, so I knew that from the beginning, and I made sure whenever I wrote the letter that any place where I wanted the individual data to go in that I just used these double brackets with the words in there. Note that I have 2 words with no spaces. That's very important. And see, it's recognizing those right there. Okay, so it's saying that I want my tag, first name, to match this question. What is your first name? And if you remember, let me go back in here. Those were the things that were on my form. What is your teaching position? Is going to be that one. The goal is this one right here. And then for fun, I like to, and then I'll just select that. And then I hit save. Now it's asking me about the file naming convention, because what it's going to do, if you didn't notice, whenever my participants take this, they had to include their email address. That is how AutoCrat is going to send this back. So whenever I send this, I like to send it as an attachment to an email, and we need to name that. So I'm going to choose the file naming convention, first name, and I'm just going to copy that. And the name of the course is Google Forms and Add-ons. So I'm going to just put that in there. So yours could be anything that you want it to be. And remember that if you use any of these that are up here, then that's going to again take some of that personal data and put it into the form. So that way it just feels like you're communicating better this way. Okay? And then I want to select the file type that I want to create. And I like to do this as a PDF. The reason why I use a PDF is if it's a Google Doc, then sometimes there's issues between what rights people have, if they can view, if they can edit, and so on. And the thing is, this is just a letter that I am sending out to people. I don't want them to be able to edit it. I just want them to be able to communicate, or I just want to be able to communicate with them. So they don't need to be able to do anything other than look at it. And this is going to be the easiest way. Now, I do want to email, and whenever I email that, I'm going to put here their email address. So it's going to go to, what is your email address? I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to use the subject of the actual course name. My message is going to be, welcome. Please take a look at the attachment, because this is going to be an attachment on their email. And then how do I want to include that merge doc? I'm going to have it be a PDF file attachment. And you can see here, I've got some of those other ways that they can access this if it was a Google Doc. I'm just going to go with PDF, it's easiest. And then I hit save. Okay, now I can run this merge right now, but I don't have any data in there. So let's do this. I'm going to go in and I am going to take my own survey just so I can see what it looks like. I'm going to say that my teaching position is Technology Integration Specialist. And my number one purpose of taking the course is to automate and simplify daily processes. This information here was not included in the mail merge, but it's good for me as a facilitator to know. And for fun, I like to canoe on the river. And I'll hit submit. Okay, so that's done. Now let's go over here into my responses, and then there they all are. Okay? Let's run the merge so that way we can see what it looks like. Now, you can tell that it was giving me updates as it went along as to how many merges that the form was processing and letting me know that it has done one job, it didn't skip any. If I had any issues, it would tell me right there. Okay, so now I need to go into my email address, or excuse me, I need to go into my email and find this so that way I can see what it looks like. So you can see right here, I'm in my email and I have this email from me. It's called Google Forms and Add-ons. That's the subject. And then it says, welcome, please take a look at the attachment. So let's just click on that and open it. And there it says, Dear Klista, so that went well. The next line was, everything we do in this course will feed right back into your work as a technology integration specialist. So see, even the wording of that sentence worked well. And then I think your goal of learning how to automate and simplify daily processes, giving you more time to canoe on the river. There we go. So that's it. And now I've been able to communicate with my participants and build more community together. Keep in mind that each time you get data in this, you will want to run that merge again. So it might be a good idea to set some notifications so that way you know when it's time to go in and run that merge so people can get an immediate response. And otherwise, this is a tool that you can use in many, many different ways with parents, with administrators, with students, and I think that it will save you a lot of time and help you communicate.